So, dear devotees, first we're going to observe the 5 precepts. So, please everyone say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato three times.
Dhamma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami
Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami
Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami
Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami
Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami
Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami
Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami
Panatipata Veramani Sikkapadang Samadhiyami.
Pata Vedamani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Dinadana Veramani Sikkapadang Samadhiyami.
Adana Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Ame Sumicchācara Veramani Sikkapadang Samadhiyami.
Chachara Vedamani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Musāvāda Veramani Sikkapadang Samadhiyami.
Vedamani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Surameraya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkapadang Samadhiyami.
Shamavacchana Vedamani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gaccantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajassa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear devotees, you all gathered here today to do this great meritorious act, to invoke the blessings upon Dr. Kanchana Karunaratne, who passed away 3 months ago. So, beloved husband, Pulasti Karuna Tilaka, and the beloved son, Isuru Karuna Tilaka, and also beloved Mother Chandra Nithyarach and all other brothers, sisters, and family members and friends gathered here and join with us through this Zoom technology. So, dear devotees, as all of you know, Dr. Kanchana Karunaratne had a very great life while she living with us in this Los Angeles. So as Buddha mentioned, Sabbam Pahaya Gamaniyang, for all of us, there is a time come we have to let go this everything. And as Buddha mentioned, there are three natures. It is inevitable. Out of praying, out of wishing, out of hoping, out of asking, out of running and escaping, you cannot get out of these three things. What are those three things? Getting sick and getting old and the death. This is very common and natural to all and everything in this world, in this universe. That is itself called the universe. The world itself, the very nature of the world is always breaking. And there is a saying called Lujjati Palujjati Loko. When it comes to the very connotation of the word, in according to the Pali, it's always breaking and deforming. So then when it comes to ourselves, we have to look and understand. I know you all are enough mature to understand this worldly nature within your own life. You all went through many personal difficulties, many situations, and you all know what is the very basic nature of life. Even though we know that, sometimes there are situations come, it is very difficult for us to accept, like this situation with the Dr. Kanchana Karunaratne. But there is no way that we can reverse this anything. What the Buddha said, we have to accept it and move forward knowingly this is the very nature of life. And when it comes to her life, that she has done a lot of good things to the society and herself and to her family, and she had a very good life. And that is what we have to focus, because there was a situation came one time. Buddha visited the village, and then in that village all the people came to see the Buddha and asked, "Oh, Venerable Sir, we heard that you can tell the past life and the future life, and you are capable to tell regarding our past relatives. And can you tell what happened to our father?" So one devotee asked. So then the Buddha said, "Oh, he is now in that place." And then he was so happy. Then what happened? He ran away and then started to tell to all his friends. And then another person came to Buddha and asked, "Venerable Sir, can you tell my mother about my mother?" Then Buddha said, "Oh, she is now in that place." So then what happened? Within few hours, whole village start to run towards the Buddha. And then Venerable Ananda told, "Venerable Sir, the way this is going to happen is not good, because we're going to have a big trouble now. Because whole village start to keep coming towards us. It is better to escape from this place." So then Buddha said, "Don't worry, Ananda, wait." And once the whole village gathered, Buddha said, "Don't worry about that whoever passed away. And there is a very simple method I will teach. Then according to that method, that you will know where they are." So this is the method that what the Buddha said. When someone living up within us, During that time, if the people wish, oh, this person should die, this person should not live with us, this person is not good for the society. So that kind of person, after that person die, it is very difficult to gain a good place. But when the person live, around that time, if the village people or the friends and other people gather, and whenever they discuss about that person, if the people appreciate that person, oh, how nice this person, how good this person doing to the society or the people. So kind of like that, if the people appreciate that kind of person, that person always have a possibility to gain a good rebirth. So then at the same time, when it comes to death, there are few ways this death can happen. Then actually this death happens suddenly. And as I know personally, Pulastimatma and the Isuru and also the all other family members was kind of like a shock. And but at the same time, when it comes to Dharma, there are four kind of deaths. So one is called Ayukkaya Marana. Ayukkaya means this is very common to each and everyone. You have to remember that. And Ayukkaya means there is a time come, the longevity going to end. Once the longevity end, no one can live in this world. Even as you know that all the powerful people in the world, see what happened to them. And they all, when the time is up, that they all gone. Even the Buddha, Jesus, the Prophet Muhammad, and all others, the great leaders, that everyone in front of the death, they didn't have power to conquer that. So then the Ayukkaya means, in according to this human plane, human existence, there is a limit with the longevity. No one can go beyond that. There are very rare the occasions happen that like very few incident happen. Mostly people used to live beyond the 120 years. But mostly, very commonly, most of people live not more than 120 years. So now it's becoming more and shorter. So then you have to remember, it doesn't matter whatever the life that we spend, when the longevity is over, then we have to die. That is one thing. Another one is Kammakkaya. So the Kammakkaya means when we come to this world, the karma is playing a bigger role. The karma is our previous actions and the result. And no one can claim and no one can interfere with that, and no one can change that, if only that person has power to change it. If that person don't know how to do that, he or she need to surrender to the karma always. But that doesn't mean everything happened according to the karma. But especially when it comes to the death, there is one reason. When the karma is over, that person anymore cannot exist in the world. It's kind of like this. You may get a credit card. You may get a credit card with like a gift card. Maybe $100 gift card. It's a credit card. So you can use it everywhere. So whatever, then you can. But after you've over the credit, anymore, that credit card is not valid. So like that, this karma is kind of like a profitable currency that we use in this world, especially when it comes to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, this all the physical form, and start in your mother's womb. So it happened according to the karma. No one go there, and no any doctor or no any scientist, no any machines can go there and fix it. And if someone want tell, oh, I want 2 eyes, I don't enough, I need another more 3 eye, because everybody very passionate about, third eye. The child claim, no one can get it like that way. Oh, I need another mouth because I talk too much. This mouth is not enough for me. I need another mouth. No one can claim like that. This get according to the karma. This manifests according to the karma, and when the karma is over, what happening? Maybe you experience some people while they living, they cannot see anymore. See, that karma start to go over. Some people while they living, they cannot hear. While they living, they cannot smell. While they living, they cannot eat. And while they living, even they cannot memorize things. That also kind of like a part of karma. So, but finally what happened when the entire karma process over, then that person cannot that cannot live here. So that is the second one. Another one is the ubhayakkaya marana. The ubhayakkaya marana means the karma and the longevity both end at once. It's like when you light a candle, ayukya is kind of like when the wax is over, then you cannot, the candle cannot anymore give the light. Or maybe the thread is there, but the wax is over. Or maybe the karmakaya is a kind of like the thread is burned already, even though that wax is there, the light cannot happen. So the ubhayakya means this both can end at once. The wax and the thread, the both can end at once. It's like the karma, and at the same time, the longevity, both can end at once. And that way also, people can die. And another death called upachedaka. Upachedaka means, this is very common that we can see everywhere. Upachedaka means this sudden death. And there is no reason sometimes for that. We cannot find a reason for it. And sometimes it can happen. And as example, if a human body fell down from 100 feet, it's no way that the person can handle itself. We cannot do it. Our bones no capability to hold that much pressure. That you may heard that yesterday there was a cat fell down from a huge building, but still the cat was able to survive itself. Because it doesn't matter whatever the heights, when the cat fell down, it always the legs come first. But for us, it not happen like that way. So, and if there is something heavy, something hit us, our body is not capable to handle that. It doesn't matter we have the good karma, we have the longevity, it doesn't matter. It's not applicable according to necessary conditions. So then in everywhere, that's why we have to be careful regarding our own life. And that's why we have to be mindful. And that's why we have to protect ourselves. Why? Because anytime anything can happen. And then the other thing what the Buddha said, that when it comes to death, maybe you can predict about anything regarding your future, but there are few things you cannot in very conventional life. What are those? One is when you're going to die, and where are you going to die, and why you going to die, what is the reason for your death. So those kind of things no one can predict. That means anything can happen in our life. So somehow we have to understand that when it comes to the life, no one can interfere with anyone else's life, because it mostly depends on the karma. So what we can do when someone passed away, we can do this kind of meritorious activities and do the good things behalf of her and transfer the merits. And there are certain suttas Buddha mentioned, like Tiloguddha Sutta. And in that suttas, Buddha mentioned, sometimes when someone die, maybe they have a wish to become to somebody else. So as example, just imagine when someone die, that person wish to become another human being. So to become a human being, you need the mother. So maybe some people wish the same mother. So as example, if I wish I want to be a son of my own mother, and maybe if I die suddenly tomorrow, and maybe then my mother is not a woman. If my wish is so strong, then what will happen? I cannot get it. Because my wish is so strong, then out of that wish, I have to wait somewhere till my mother become a woman. And she need to be born as a human being, and then she need to be a girl, and then she need to come to a necessary that time period, and she need to get married. And then once she available, just imagine I having a somewhere living, but my wish is so strong, now it is available. Then what will happen? Suddenly, I'll leave this place and go there. It's like when you apply for this to give to more clear understanding how these things happen, because through the examples we have to understand this. Otherwise, it become a puzzle. It's like this. It's very simple. So you apply for a good high salary job, and now you go to interview, and they review your application and they say, okay, you are selected for this post. But the thing is, your seat going to be available within another 3 months. So you have to wait this 3 months. So then there is a pre-period come for you to stay 3 months. Because you know that your next job going to be available there, but you have to wait till 3 months. So then what you do, you go to kind of like a place, work for cash. You have 3 months. So then maybe you find good friends there. Just imagine you go and work in McDonald's or somewhere, for, or maybe you find a friend and go and work in 7-Eleven for cash. And you find good friends and you find good customers. You become very friendly. It's kind of like, they are kind of like your family. But in my deeper subconsciousness, what you waiting for that job. And then suddenly, what happened? There is a call come. Okay, your place is available. You can come from tomorrow. So what will happen? Maybe you not go back to the place you keep working. You leave that place and you leave all your friends and your all good connection and you disappear. Why? Because you find a good place. So like that in our samsaric journey, in our previous lives, sometimes we had the stronger wishes than this life what we experience. So when it is available, maybe we go there. So, and at the same time, there are certain places kind of like a transit time period. So you have to wait to get into other place. It's like when you're traveling from here to Sri Lanka or to another country, you get a transit. So you may not going to get the flight, the connection flight very soon. Maybe you are at the airport, you need to wait a little bit. So then there are times come in life, and once we die, some people not going to born suddenly to the next place. They have to wait till that place available. So if your relative or the Dr. Kanchana is waiting in that place, And these merits may go to her. And this all the things you have done so far in these 3 months, maybe it's go to her. And maybe some certain places come and they cannot live themselves. It called paradatta upajivi. Paradatta means help out of other people. Upajivi means not completed. It's not complete life. As you know, there are some babies come. Before the necessary time period, they come to this world. And maybe you have seen they are living in a glass box. See, they have a life, they have completed body, but still that baby cannot survive herself or himself. So the machine will help for the baby to become stronger. Once the baby is stronger, lungs, the heart, and all the nerve system become stronger to handle itself, then you detach all the machines. So like that, there are some living beings, they cannot live themselves. They need the help out of others. The help means always the power of the thoughts, because this material cannot help hand to hand. It's always the power of the thoughts. So when you have good thoughts, that wherever the Dr. Kanchana, that she can survive out of it. And then once she gets stronger out of your thoughts, and she can get into a higher existence. So this is how it happened. So somehow, as husband, as children, as a mother, and as brothers, sisters, as friends and family members, this is the great respect and the gratitude you perform out of her. So then at the same time, you have to remember. So her life is over. She has done whatever capable, and she has done everything. But now you have seen what happened. So that is the greatest example. And you have seen around this world what is happening. So that is an example for you. You have to understand it and you have to live out of it. You may see it and maybe just forget it, and again tomorrow you start to go your own way. So that is not good. So whatever you experience, whatever you saw, whatever we see out of this life, remember, this is the very nature of life. It's going to happen to you also. So you all, as husband, wife, children, family members, you live together. But remember, when someone dies, there is no way that you can reverse and bring that person back. And that person going to leave everything behind. So then what will happen to you? You're going to be just by yourself. You have to handle your life yourself. So understand it. And at the same time, you have to remember that whoever live with you as husband, wife, children, friends, and family members, and we don't know when they're going to die. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to each and everyone in this world. So we don't know when they're going to die, when you're going to die, when I'm going to die. So then what you need to do? Learn the lesson and remember to do your best for other people. And that way, whatever happened tomorrow, you're not going to feel sorry about yourself. But if you neglect, then what will happen? When suddenly people disappear, then you will think, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, so like that. Because this is inevitable, no one can stop this. So then you have to remember, while you living yourself with others, at the same time, while you take caring yourself, you have to do your best for other people. And with that, so we're going to come to the today Dhamma sermon. So this Dhamma sermon for you. So all you gathered here to invoke the blessings behalf of the Dr. Kanchana Karunaratne. So just listening to Dharma is not going to bring the merits to her because she already gone. You are the one who listening this Dharma. So then how you can earn the merits and transfer to it? So if you listen this Dharma, if you understand this very well, and if you change a little bit in your life, and if you become a better person, and if you come closer even little bit towards your liberation, that is how you can earn merits and transfer that merits to the Dr. Kanchana. So I appreciate all of you, behalf of her, behalf that you all gathered here and you're spending time. So it is not like you come to temple and you sit in front of the monk. So you all at home and you are so more comfortable. So then, but at the same time, remember, give your best for this time. And just remember, you are the one who listening this. This is for you. And learn this and understand this. Be very clear within yourself. Why we need to learn the Dharma? Why we need to listen to Dharma? Because you all are all educated people and you earn yourself and you have your own life. And why you need to listen to this monk? Why you need the Dharma? If you look very carefully, just imagine you have a bird view eye regarding you. So nowadays everywhere, these little cameras. And if you put the video camera inside your own house to track yourself, and you will see how you behave. Every day, you wake up at the same time mostly, the same way. And if you if you set up the alarm, when the alarm ring, the same way you move your fingers and you stop your alarm. Same hand, every day. And the same way you get out of your bed. The same way you walk to your bathroom. Same way you open the tap. The same way you wash your face. If you brush your teeth, same kind of toothbrush, same kind of toothpaste you use. And the same kind of way that you shave yourself and you make up yourself, same kind of colors, the brand, you will see. And the same kind of coffee or the tea you take, the same amount of the sugar, and the same kind of pattern you have in your life, the same kind of garments you put on you, the same route you take to your office, the same seat you take, and the same kind of work you keep doing. And it is not only for one day. You keep doing this for a while now. And you became a machine. And sometimes you just repeat even you don't know how it happened. It is automatical. It is kind of like autopilot. You are now in your whole life keep autopilot. It is just not only the physical. The same thing happening in your mind also. Your mind also same kind of thought pattern you have. It happened beyond this life and eons by eons through this samsaric journey, it keep happening to us. It what called mental formation, volition. It already inside us. So repeating this mostly we mention as our life. So then the Buddha is the one who found out this method and told, this is not the life. There is something else beyond your imagination. There is something else beyond your mental pattern or your habitual pattern. So what is that? When you are able to stop this mental repetition in your mind, the physical repetition, habitual pattern in your mind, then you will experience the moment of life, the moment of existence. That is completely different life that that the experience through the repetition. So we repeat our life, and mostly another thing is through the culture, tradition, believing because of other people. And we always try to empathize and sympathize other people. And we became kind of like completely different people more than who will live inside us. And even the whatever that the education system, whatever the subject you study, and whatever the work you do, and whatever the behavior that you have, maybe it is completely different than you. The real you is inside. So, but at the same time, you have to understand the very purpose of the Dharma is self-realization. When it comes to Dharma, there is a study part, and you can study Dharma through the schools and universities, through many diplomas. In academical level, you can study Dharma. There is no limit. And there is a cultural part. Through this 2,600 years, generations to generation, through the people, it changed, and many kind of cultural ideas came to this. And today, we have many activities as a religious part. But when it go to the pure Buddhism, what the Buddha mentioned, self-realization. What does that mean? That out of this physical, mental imagination, there is something that you can reach to go into your pure level of understanding, existence. So the real you, the happiness exists inside you, totally different than this outside person. So the outside person depends on the culture, tradition, and the believing system. So then the Buddha said, if the person go that way, it always will keep repeating, and maybe you have effort to make other people happy, and maybe you have to depend on others' ideas, and then it becomes a struggle. But if you invest some time to look within yourself and to be truthful to yourself and maintain and merge your bodily, verbally, mental action regarding the truth happening inside you, then you're going to experience a different life. So getting to that truth, understanding yourself is the main purpose in this whole practice. For that, you need some kind of peace, harmony, calmness. Look at everyone at home, sitting on the floor and listening to this. So it is not like the ordinary life that you used to have during this time at home. Why? Because to get into this, you need some calmness, some comfortable mind. The reason is this busyness and this repetition, this addictive lifestyle take us away from the awareness. So that is why nowadays people becoming kind of like machines. And averagely, and because of that kind of lifestyle, we come to a point to have a life that which we really don't want. So averagely in America, most of you know, the averagely in America, most of people get heart attack Monday morning. The very reason most of people work which they don't like. And then Monday morning is a kind of like a most unhappy day in the week. Why? Because they want to go to work. Just imagine, you get the heart attacks, just imagine your own work. You know, that is life we have today. Who chose that? Ourselves. Why? Because we used to follow the ideas. Then as a result of that, we came to a point and we just lose ourselves. But remember, we all going to die one day. And when the day comes for you to die, you have to die completing this life, not losing yourself. That's why you need to hear this Dharma. And at the same time, when we look at the history, And we came through a journey and we are already in a very good place. Look at you and me today, and without even that coming closer, you can hear, you can see. So this is not a simple thing. If you look 20 years back, and this was a kind of like a dream. But look how the people came so far in this journey. Bull cart to the rover machine went to Mars, and the people scientifically became so developed. And at the same time, and we used to build supersonic jet go faster than the birds. And we used to build submarine go faster than the fish. And at the same time, we are capable to bring all the wild animal to human society, and we used to make them like adapt like babies. Like as you seen, people bring the tigers, lions, bears, and they do circus with them. And you have seen this wild elephant, people conquer them and then they dance with them. But still, so that is a success of the human life. But at the same time, we have to remember, all through this machines, technology, artificial intelligence, all through this, all the success, still we are struggling to fix our own mind. We are fail when it comes to our own mind. So that's why you need some kind of teachings out of the Buddha. Because by yourself, you cannot do it. Why you cannot do it by yourself? This is the reason. So always you used to think. Your ordinary life is thinking and doing. To think, you need two things. What are those? Names and forms. Without names and without forms, you cannot think. So, in this very moment, all the names and the forms in your mind is your past experience. So, just imagine tomorrow you're going to have a new, very brand new moment. Tomorrow is not a kind of like a leftover something. It's completely brand new moment. So, to understand tomorrow, if you use your own mind, that means your own names and forms, that means using your history, you're trying to understand a new moment. That is what called repetition of your mind. Then you're not going to see the exactly newness that what you experience. Why? Because your mental formations, your sanskara, your old thoughts, names and forms overtake this new moment. So then maybe you become so happy about it. Why? Because it is so comfortable for you. It is so familiar for you, but you miss the point. What's the point? That means you miss the newness. You just go with the pattern. But the Dharma is not like that. Dharma is a moment brings to you to break this pattern. You're going to hear something new today out of this sermon. When you hear that, maybe no one told you about it. Maybe in your deeper subconscious, you may hear, oh, that is me. Oh, that Dharma exactly for me. No one told you that. So if you hear that, remember, I'm going to explain the Dharma. When you hear that, this is a beautiful sutra. If you hear something and if you think, oh, this is about me, then in that very moment, remember whatever you keep doing, you have to change. Without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, zero tolerance, you have to change. So why? Because the reason is this. This sutra, Buddha mentioned 2600 years ago. And 2600 years ago, the Buddha mentioned the characters of the human life, behavior of the human life, and Buddha mentioned what going to happen to that kind of people. So then if you see, oh, this is about me, why you waiting anymore? Because you have to understand the Buddha knew about you. So then what you need to do? Start to get into the Buddha's teaching and start to look for that. More than any other time, you are able, that teachings available anywhere with you. You can access in many ways to the Buddha's teaching, and little by little, not overnight, but little by little, slowly get into the path and develop yourself a spiritual life. Why? Because finally, have you seen, as you seen nowadays, maybe you have a husband, wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, you have money, you have many assets. But if you don't develop a spiritual life, you're going to have a very hard time within your own heart. It doesn't matter where you are. Look at the world. Sometimes if you start to get little bit sick, and maybe there is a situation come, no one can come closer to you. So then what's the point? You have people around you. But if you develop your own spiritual life, it's going to be your own protection. So that's why out of this Dharma, so if you hear something, if something touch your heart, start to get into the Dharma and start to develop it in you, cultivate yourself. It will going to protect your own life, not only for today, not only for tomorrow, not only for this life. Until you attain to the Nibbana, this will help for you. So let's get into the today's sutra. And today I'm going to explain about the sutra called Darukandopama Sutra. So this sutra is for you, each and everyone. Forget your personality, forget your identity, forget your responsibilities. Just listen to these details. So the Darukandopama Sutra means this. This is what happened. The Buddha gave a sermon explaining a piece of wood. That is what called Darukandopama. Darukanda means Darakada. That means piece of wood. So one day in Ayodhya, so still there in India, that name the same, Ayodhya. In Ayodhya, Buddha and several monks, group of monks were traveling. And then that day, they came close by a river. And there was a tree, very beautiful tree. And so then the Buddha and the monks sat down there, just spend some time to take a break. And close by that tree, there was a river. Few days ago, in high mountain areas, there were heavy rain. And because of that, the water was so high. So then the monk, Buddha and the monk, while resting in this place, there was a young boy. Remember this name. It's called the Nanda. The young boy, it's a cowboy, paid-handed, boy, for a millionaire in that area. He had a group, cows. And then this boy also came across that area. And then he left this cow to eat grass. And he saw there were some group of monks. So then this Nanda, the young boy, also came and sat close by this group of monks and were listening. So then the Buddha and the monks, while they having a friendly discussion, then suddenly there was a piece of wood appear in that river, because they used to sat close by the river. And then this wood dancing, because the high water, and dancing and going here and there and go down. So then the Buddha saw that piece of wood and asked from monks, what do you think about that piece of wood? how capable this piece of wood reach to the ocean. Is there any difficulties? Is there any possibility this piece of wood can reach to the ocean? So then in that discussion, there were 8 the ideas came. One idea was, oh, that piece of wood can come to this band, our side, and stuck. Then it cannot reach to the ocean. Then another answer came, maybe that piece of wood can go to other side of the river, other band of the river. So then it's stuck there, then it cannot go to the ocean. Then another monk told, oh, Venerable Sir, maybe some areas the water is so high and it overtakes the land. And then maybe suddenly the piece of wood can go to the land. And that way also it cannot reach to the ocean. Then another monk told, Venerable Sir, maybe in this river, there are little islands like mountains in the middle of the river, little islands, little sand mountains. Maybe if the river, the piece of wood stuck there, then it cannot reach to the ocean. So now 4. And the 5th one, oh, Venerable Sir, maybe some people can take it. Because as you know, there are some people, maybe it is, if it is a good piece of wood, maybe they can dry it and put it to fire. Maybe they can do something out of that piece of wood. Oh, Venerable Sir, maybe some people can take it. That is the 5th one. And the 6th one. And maybe that not the human, another living beings can take it. Like a ghost, demon, that kind of. So then the 6 answers. The 7th one is, maybe Venerable Sir, in this river, like as you know, in India, the rivers are huge. So there are whirlpools. And maybe there are whirlpools that the piece of wood can caught up in the whirlpool and stay there, stuck there. Then it cannot go to the river, ocean. And then another answer came, by the time this piece of wood can dissolve, little by little, can dissolve in the water and disappear. Then there is no piece of wood to reach. So those are the 8 answers came out of that discussion. One is the piece of wood can come to this side and stuck, go to other side and stuck, or maybe it can come to the land and then it cannot reach, or maybe it can stuck in the middle of the sand mountain or little island, then that way cannot go to the ocean, or maybe another human being can take it, or maybe demons, or that kind of like a ghost, not a kind of like a human, but still another living being can take it. And then it can stuck in a whirlpool and then it cannot go anymore. And then the final one, it can dissolve piece by piece, piece by piece. So then the Buddha said, Venerable Sir, the Buddha mentioned to the monks, dear monks, our life also same. Maybe as you know, all of you, that whatever from childhood to today, whatever, even you go to temple or do that little meritorious act, you always wish for the Nibbana. And but still, sometimes why this cannot happen to us? Why it is far away from us? So the Buddha said, oh monks, our life also like this piece of wood. If the Dharma is this river, why it cannot take you to the Nibbana? There are 8 reasons. So like your life, even though Dharma is, you born as a Buddhist, you born with the Dharma, your heritage is the Dharma. But even though sometimes, even though you live in the dharmic river, morning, night, evening, every time, even though you wish for the Nibbana, why? You cannot get into that. So, the piece of wood, this band, what is this band? What is this side of the river? It is our own eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. This all the faculties. What does that mean? We're spending our time always making happy our life, eyes, and watching something. That is how we sometimes spend the life. We always spend the life and watching something. We want to make our eyes happy. And sometimes listening. We want to have a life to make our ears happy. And sometimes we always spending time to make our nose happy. And sometimes we always spending time to make our tongue happy. Sometimes we spending time to make our body happy. It is not for once a while. Some people, they live for that. Some people, they live to watch TVs, watch YouTube, watch Sri Lankan dramas at night, middle of the night. And without watching all the mega series teledramas, they cannot sleep. And without watching TV, some people cannot sleep. As you know, bedroom, that's the place you need to sleep. But it is very rare nowadays, you cannot find a bedroom without the TV. Why? Because you go and lie down on the bed and you put on the TV and you look at it. Then whatever is there, you want to sleep with that. And then your mind not go to sleep. Your mind is go with something else. You're not resting. So that's why that you always remember when you go to sleep. You have to do it with the faith and with the prepared mind consciously that you go to sleep. It is very necessary. So otherwise you hearing, sometimes you put the headphone and putting headphone, you go to sleep. And so it's like that. Always some people, and always they need to eat something. Everywhere nuts, littles. That sometimes I see people sometimes bring, different kind of nuts. And I ask, why you bring this? No, sometimes the Bhante, you need to eat this. And sometimes people everywhere, when they at their houses, everywhere they sit and where they eat, and close to the bedroom, even in the bathroom, and in little pots, nuts, and always keep eating, chewing, and you eat nuts every day, and then finally your brain also go nuts. So that's why you have to give a break to yourself. Sometimes you say to some other people, give me a break, that is good. But at the same time, remember yourself, learn to give yourself a break, conscious break, not just, by mistake. No, give a very conscious break knowingly. Get out of seeing things, get out of hearing, smelling, tasting, even yourself, without touching from anyone. Just learn to live even for a moment. It will bring a peace to yourself. So that is what it's saying. When you always depending on these 5 faculties, you are kind of like a piece of wood. You're stuck in the river bank. So what is the other side? So other side is all the 5 objects, the colors or the pictures, the sound, the smell, the taste, and the sensation. That's mean what? So It is not what comes. Your whole body you take to see things, beautiful things. If you hear there is something beautiful, you go there. It's like that all outside object pull you towards that way. If there is a musical show and you're spending so much money and time, you go there. And to smell something, you go there. And to eat, far away. And sometimes from Los Angeles, some people go to Las Vegas to eat. And just imagine when sometimes, just 5 hours you have to drive. It's nothing wrong. Once a while you go there and, you eat it. It's okay, with the family to have a break and you enjoy. It is nothing wrong with that. But here what in the sutta says, it is not like that. Some people always by hearing, oh, this is a good place to eat, the very next day that person go there. It's like that always, everywhere people go. Another thing is the people. If there is a party, you no need invitation. This person go everywhere asking, where is a party? Where is a party? Even in this Corona time, as you know, in this lockdown, some people organize parties secretly. Why? Because without gathering, it's kind of like they cannot live. They feel like missing something. See how much we addicted. So that is what the Buddha said, because it is something beyond what you think. That once it become like a current, you cannot conquer it. So then you have to be very careful regarding that. It is nothing wrong seeing things, hearing things, smelling things, eating things, and associating people. But don't get addicted to that. And keep a limit. Take a conscious decision. And when there is a necessary time, change it. And that way you can get out of the difficulties. So then what the piece of wood can come to the land and then stuck there. So that is mean sometimes people are stuck in the very egocentric mind. This is me, I am. And then they always maintain themselves. They are very cautious regarding their own life. Me. It doesn't matter whatever happened to the world. It doesn't matter whatever happened to the husband, wife, children. And they always think about themselves. It is about me. What will happen to me? What I get. So that's kind of always self-centered, egocentric mind. That kind of person also cannot reach to the Nibbana. The fourth person can stuck in the middle, kind of like in the river, the middle of the river, there are sand mountains. And maybe they can stuck there. So what is this sand mountain? What the Buddha said? There are some people living in their own head, their own dream. They are always dreaming. It is not real, and they didn't see anything like that way. But they imagine themselves, they're going to have a life. It's kind of like a la-la land. They always in a dream land in their head. And they're not going to have a communication with husband, wife, or children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters. They cannot explain what is in their head. But they always in dreaming and projecting and thinking something. It is not real. Maybe to become rich or become a millionaire or going to there or here and to marry this girl or to have a life like this way, marry that boy, or kind of like they always dreaming something. But it never going to be real. So there are some kind of people like that. And the fifth one, remember I mentioned that this piece of wood can take by a human being. This is a very important point, what the Buddha said. What does this mean? That means your life can take by another human being, another person. That means it can be your son or daughter, your husband or wife. It can be your parents, or it can be your brother, sister. It can be your friend. That means you have to spend time for them. You don't have a time. Morning to night, you start to maintain someone else's life. You spend your whole life for somebody else. Don't do that. It's okay, you have to do your responsibilities. But at the same time, remember, you have to take care of yourself. You have to look within. Otherwise, end of this all, you will be unhappy. So don't get into that unhappiness. Why? Because maybe you do everything for other people. Nothing wrong that. But at the same time, when the time comes, maybe other people will disappear. But then what will happen to yourself? If you don't care yourself, if you don't develop any spiritual practice within yourself, whole life you spend for other people. By the time, everything will change. So then, of course, you have to take care of other people and you have to go do things for other people. But at the same time, you have to take care of yourself also in a good way. So while you're spending time for other people, don't allow anyone to steal your life, take your life. So then, while you're doing your things and at the same time helping for others, look yourself and have some development in you. Cultivate some happiness in you. Being sad, being worried, being unhappy yourself, even though you do that work to other people, it's not going to be complete. Why? Because deeply the sorrow, unhappiness, sadness, when it grow inside you, what will happen? Whatever the bodily, verbally, mentally action come out of you, not going to bring good result. So that's why always remember, you have to take care of yourself, and at the same time, you have to share your life with others. So the sixth one, sometimes the demons or the different kind of living beings can take this piece of wood. What is this mean? This mean some people live for the God. That means they devote their whole life to become a God. Or maybe have you seen, kind of like there are people in this astrology field, sometimes people say, oh, he do things because he get help out of the Buddha, and sometimes there are many kind of places like Devala, they always do these mysterious things, that the kind of like in a different way, having contact with the different kind of existence. So then what will happen if the person get into that kind of life? That person start to depend from them. And that it's in a conventional way. And another thing is in a spiritual way, some people have a dream to go to the heaven. Some people have a dream to become a different kind of living being. So then always they in their head, it is keep chattering. And then what will happen? They miss this human opportunity. Becoming a human, living in human life, why you need to get the help out of an unseen ghost? You have to remember, it is a kind of like you criticizing your own human life. You criticizing like your own human power. Why you need this unseen someone else power to maintain your life? Just think yourself. You can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, you can think. Look at this everywhere. This everything that we experience today came out of the power of the human mind. You have the same kind of capability. So then why you caught up in a kind of like that kind of mindset? So that's why Buddha said, if you caught up in that kind of mindset, then you cannot get into this liberation or the Nibbana. Then the sixth one, the maybe you can caught up in the whirlpool. So that's mean that all the desires inside us arise to find the satisfaction. And it's kind of like a tornado inside us, like a whirlpool, like a tsunami inside us. Once your life caught up in that desires, there is no end. It's always you jump from this place to that place to this place to that, and you keep running, you keep running, you keep running. And always you putting, it's kind of like you putting the wood to the fire. There is no end. How much you put, it always going to burn. There's no enough. So like that, you eating, sleeping, dreaming, watching, dancing, singing. Just imagine. This all you keep doing, where the end? Maybe you cook so hard, difficult, heavy, and sweating. And after you cook, you put it that all the food to your plate, and you take it and go jump into the couch, and then put the TV, and then eating and watching TV and enjoying, and then you go to sleep, and then the very next day, you feel so tired. And then again you jump out of the bed and go to work and earn money, and then you come back and do the same thing. So it's kind of like you putting inside you, and something never going to end. So this is keep happening in this samsaric journey. Not only you, the whole world keep doing this. And not only for today. And there is no end. Eons by eons in the future also, you will keep doing the same thing. There is no difference. Maybe the menu will different. Maybe the house going to be different. Maybe the place going to be different. Maybe the TV going to be more bigger than the TV that you watch today. But you will keep repeating the same thing. So it is kind of like a whirlpool. So there's no way to get out of this. So then you have to understand. Another one, the last one, this piece of wood can dissolve before it reach to the ocean. What does that mean? There are some people, no moral shame. There are some people, no moral fear, no self-discipline. They available 24/7 to do anything. So don't be that kind of person. Have some kind of discipline yourself. Have some kind of that design lifestyle for yourself. Have a purpose into your life, especially young people today listening to this. And so I want to mention yourself. Don't be available for anyone with your friends, family members. Don't be available for anything. That is not good. Be available for only the good things, profitable things. And at the same time, you have to remember that your parents worked so hard and they had a very difficult time. They gave this beautiful life, and look at you have everything today. There are a lot of people, they don't have this. There are a lot of young people. They have only one garment for whole 1 month, and they have only one meal for few days. But when you open your closet, you spend 1 hour to think what you want to put. When you open your jewelries, you go here and there 1 hour to select one thing, But there are a lot of people, they don't have anything. But that doesn't mean you have to act like that way. No, it is good. You have a lot of things. It is good for you. But at the same time, you have to remember, you have to get best out of you. So don't be available for anything. Have a discipline yourself, have some kind of plan your life. Keep a plan yourself. Have a blueprint yourself. I want to be like this. Have a purpose yourself. I want to become like this. When it comes to that, always remember, don't be like your parents. If you become like a parent, so it's like this. When you go to friends, or if some people come to your house, if that everybody look at you and tell, this for young people, okay? So if they look at you and tell, oh, you look like your father, oh, you look like your mother, don't be happy about it. Be sad. Why? Just becoming like your mother, becoming like your father is not should be the purpose for you. Why? Because then you're going to end up like them. No, as a mother, as a father, they sacrificed their whole life and they gave everything to you. So then what you should be? You always have to be better than them. That should be your measurement. Be better than your parents. And look ahead always. Don't repeat what they keep doing. So whatever they have done, they did, but yourself, you have responsibility to move forward. So that's why here what the Buddha said. So in your life, don't be available for anything. Have a discipline, have a purpose yourself. So then the Buddha said, if that piece of wood not get into these 8 qualities, this wood will go to the ocean. No one can stop that. So then yourself, to getting to the Nibbana, now you know yourself, you have to look. Are you getting stuck in this band? That means with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. Or are you stuck with the perception? That means the pictures or the sounds or the smell or the taste or the sensation. Are you going that way? Or maybe are you kind of like stuck with the self-centered mind? Or are you maybe stuck inside your own mind? It called the Chandaraga. That's mean you cannot explain, but mentally you always project the desires inside you. So you always depending in that la la land, dream world. So are you kind of like that person? Or are you kind of like a person, 20% you spend, you sacrifice your whole life for other people? Don't do that. Or are you a person depending and give up your human qualities and depending or looking for that unseen living beings, or go that way? Don't do that. Or are you a person with your desires, with your all the perception, always look for the satisfaction? Don't go for that way. There is no end. Are you a person without self-discipline and without any purpose, just living without any moral shame or without any moral fear? Are you available to do anything? Don't become like that person. So if you come to that kind of person, remember, you cannot reach to the ocean. So then reach to ocean mindfully, consciously, you get out of this from this situation. And then remember the guy that the cowboy used to sit next to the monks. And then this boy told, oh, Venerable Sir, I know now how this piece of wood can go to ocean. I know now, I understood. See, out of the monks, this boy, just the cowboy, he used to work for a millionaire. And then he told, Venerable Sir, I want to come with you. Then the Buddha said, no, 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 you cannot come like that way. So you have these cows and you have some responsibility. So you go and give this cow and everything back to the owner, and then get out of your responsibilities and then get the permission and come back. So then he went and gave the cows and everything to the owner and came back, and he went with the Buddha. And then within very few days, he became a monk and attained to the enlightenment. So then yourself, it is available for you also. So nothing wrong with this conventional life, nothing wrong with anything, but you have to remember, it is not personal. This is the very nature of life. Look at 2600 years ago, the Buddha mentioned this. That means that eons by eons, all the Buddhas come and mention this with the great compassion towards us. So then yourself, you have to remember, this is the beautiful time that you have yourself. So use it and develop your profitable skills and gain some good meritorious activities and uplift your life. And out of that upliftment, that you can attain to your liberation. And at the same time, all these young people, you have to remember, and we all came from Sri Lanka, and we get that your parents give up that everything there, and whatever they had, that all the family members, whatever they love, they give up everything and they came far away to other side of the world. So then yourself, you have to remember, you have some responsibility to become successful in this conventional life in California, or wherever you listening this. It is your responsibility. You cannot fail. So then yourself, remember, have a higher purpose yourself. Look at your life and develop yourself. When it comes to that, the California is a very interesting place to build up a good life to the world. And at the same time, when we look at the world, the mostly that there are some people, they thought themselves and they used to think new and build up, invent something new. And so it is your responsibility today, rather than just repeating your life, start to think new. And that will help for you to give us some good contribution to the world. So like that in the history, there were some people used to think about the world, new ways, and they contribute something to the world. So look at this, McDonald. So it is a new invent, certain time period, one person, it is a family name. Amani, you may heard that. Chrysler, Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, it's a family name. One person invented that. Hilton, one person. Honda, one person. Marriott, you may heard that. One person name. Maybach, one person name. Nostrum, one person name. Porsche, it's a one person name. And Rolls-Royce, two people. Charles Ross and Henry Royce. Versace, one name. Wells Fargo, two names. Henry Wells and William Fargo. And Walgreens, family name. These all people, they themselves, not with their family background, no. Themselves, they invented by their own effort. Look at, when we see this, that we live with this all. They are the one. Maybe you work McDonald's, and then whatever the money you earn, you put in Wells Fargo, and then maybe you get a vacation and go live in Hilton hotel, and maybe you buy the Honda car, or maybe if you are rich, you may buy Rolls Royce, or if you want to ride a bike, you go and buy a Harley Davidson, and then maybe you go to Nordstrom and you buy all your jewelries like Armani, Versace, or maybe if you like to spend more, you will buy Gucci, you know. So this all give you a good life. This all the people thought about other people and gave an opportunity to the world. So you also have that. So then in this time, I mentioned that you all have this opportunity. Remember, rather than depending from others, and start to contribute yourself to this humanity. So that way you will see yourself, you can be happy one day when the day comes for you to end this journey. So with that, and I bless upon especially for everyone who today that you all gathered with this Dhamma sermon to invoke the blessings upon Dr. Kanchana Karunaratne. And with this all the meritorious activities, we bless upon her by the power of this all meritorious activities. If she living in a low existence, may she be able to attain to high existence. If she living in a high existence, may she be able to attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Thinking like thus, please everyone say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. මේ වෙලාවේදී කල්පනා කරගන්න මේ ධර්ම දේශනාව සඳහා අද දවසේදී සහ සම්බන්ධ වූ ඔබ හැම දිනාට පුලස්ති කරුණාතිලක මහත්මයා, ඉසුරු කරුණාතිලක පුතුණුවන්, චන්ද්‍රානි මෑණියන්, ඒ වගේ මේ සහෝදර සහෝදරියන්, ඥාති මිත්‍රාදීන්, හිතවතුන් හැම දිනාම මේ වෙලාවේදී කල්පනා කරගන්නට ඕනේ මේ ධර්ම දේශනාවෙන් ලබාගත් ආ වූ සියලු කුසලයේ බලයේ ශක්තිය ඒ ડોક્ટર කාංචනා කරුණාරත්න මහත්මියට අපි අනුමෝදන් කරමු. අනුමෝදන් වේවා. එතුමිය දුක් ඇති තැනක ඉන්නවා නම් එයින් අත මිදේවා, සැප ඇති තැනක ඉන්නවා නම් ඒ සැප තව තවත් වඩා වර්ධනය කොටගෙන සසර කෙලවර නිවන් දකිත්වා කියන කල්පනාව හිතට ගන්නට ඕනේ. වගේම සියලු දෙවියෝද මේ පින් අනුමෝදන් වෙලා දිව සැප තව තවත් වඩා වර්ධනය කොටගෙන නිවන් දකින අතරතුර ඔබ සියලු දෙනා ආරක්ෂා කර දෙත්වා. ඒ වගේම මේ සියලු පින්කම් වල බලයෙන් ශක්තියෙන් පුලස්ති කරුණාතිලක මහත්මයාට, ඉසුරු කරුණාතිලක පුතුණුවන්ට, චන්ද්‍රානි මෑණියන්, ඒ පවුලේ සහෝදර සහෝදරියන්, ඥාති මිත්‍රාදීන් හැම දිනාටද මේ සියලු පින් හේතු වේවා. විශේෂයෙන් අද දවසේදී මේ පින්කම සඳහා ඉන්ද්‍රා පෙරේරා මහත්මිය මේ මල් සකස් කිරීමේ දේවල් සිද්ධ කරා. ඒ වගේම සුමුදු සුමුදු නෝනා මහත්මියත්, ගජබා මහත්මයාත් ඒ අවශ්‍ය කරන පිරිකර ආදිය පූජා කළා. ඒ වගේම මයන්ති කොටුවැල්ල මහත්මයාත් ඒ අවශ්‍ය කරන මල් ආදිය සම්පාදනය කරලා දුන්නා. ඉතින් ඒ අයද අපි සිහිපත් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම පවුලේ ඔබ සියලු දෙනා වෙනුවෙන්ම මේ සඳහා සහභාගී වුණු ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට අපි පුණ්‍ය ආනුමෝදනා කරන ගමන් හැම දිනාටම නිරෝගී සම්පත්‍ය ආරක්ෂාව සැලසේවා. නසස්ත්‍ර ග්‍රහ දෝෂ අපල තිබෙනවා නම් ඒ සියල්ලද දූරීභූත වෙලා හැම දිනාගෙම කායික මානසික සුවතාවය වේවා. මෙලොව වශයෙන් ජීවිතේට සැපත සතුට සෞභාග්‍ය සැනසීම ආරක්ෂාව ලබා සංසාර ගමන කෙලවර දුක් භය රෝග නිමා කොට උතුම් නිර්වාණ සම්පත්තිය පිණිස මේ සියලු පින් සසර ගමනටද හේතු වේවා, වාසනාව වේවා කියමින් කවුරුත් සාදුකාරයක් පවත්වන්න. ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ශාසනං. ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු දේශනං. ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ත්වං සදාති. ධර්ම ශ්‍රවණානි සංසෙන් ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට උතුම් නිර්වාණ සම්පත්තියම වේවා. नायक कहाँ दूर इन्होंने